Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. Can we go and get the phone? Let me go and get the phone. Okay, so got the phone now. Had a bit of a sort out today, and a little bit of technical problems. I'm using these today because, well, I could actually use these if I had it, but as you can see, we've got a bit more cable. All I've done is extended the cable a little bit, and what I've done is the ceiling cable, I've swirled it round, so I can get you to have a look at it, and just make sure we're all on there. See if we can monitor it with it. Yeah. Kind of got headphones on tonight. Maybe sit on ones. Looking at or something. That's what she says anyway. So yeah, let's give it a go. A little bit late tonight, but I'm watching a film. Not going to fall asleep in the chair, so. As you do, got the big light going tonight, and I've got the massive big screen. I will put my new one up, which is the special effects in the corner. I can just get this thing right there. And we can watch that door there. Technical stuff here coming on. I'm telling you, technical stuff. Shut this door. And we put this chap in. What this actually is like, tell you what, I'll show that. What this actually is like a little remote control obviously there, and it's like a projector. So if I put it on, there you go, immediately you can see the effect in the room. I'll also put the other big lights on. My discu ones from my mobile disco. Gives the effect, obviously. But I've also got a little bit of a different angle for the camera tonight, and it seems a bit strange because I'm actually talking and hearing myself through the 4 speakers. I've got 4 speakers and I'm actually in the middle of the room. So it's all clever stuff. It's a very, very good picture, I must admit. But I've actually changed the camera angle around so people can see me playing this one. So, I've had a lot of fans saying, can we see a different angle of you playing this keyboard here? Now the only way I could do it was turn the camera around and flick it over. So basically you get, let me just change the camera around, this image. A little bit grainy, but I've had to zoom it up a bit, like. But yeah, that's the image of the camera from the other keyboard, and that's this one here, like. Hang on, yeah, this one here. That's the one. And we might play a few things on here and all. I'll set them up. It seems a bit strange having to hear myself. Normally I hear myself through the headphones, which is kind of cool. But today, as I say, we live not here. I can actually put them through the speakers. Not too loud, obviously. The neighbours will probably just hear something and go, what's all that? What's all that? What's happening there? But obviously it's a little bit different. How you doing, guys? Hope you're well. Hang on, I'm just going to see who's on board. Oh, I'm hearing myself now. That's how slow it is with the time difference. Isn't it weird? There's 10-second difference delay I'm hearing. It must be bouncing itself around the satellites, right around the world. Ever so strange. But yeah, this projector here is amazing. Hello. Shut up, Steve. Yeah, if you look at the ceiling there, you can see that I can change the images. I can put the dots on. I can bring my lasers on. If I just knock this one on the head, because this is quite a bright one, so I can actually change the intensity on this one. There you go. That's pretty cool, isn't it? The only thing is there now, because we've got it like that. If I go to the other camera, because I've enhanced it a bit, it might be a little bit grainy. It's a little bit grainy, look at that. So we do need this light on here. I might bring it down a touch, and I might change the colour of the bulb, so we go from, I think we go from a blue to a, let's have a look. Could go to a nice colour there. That's a bright blue. That's a cool blue, and that's a warm blue. Now the warm blue is quite nice, but it's not giving the effect around the corner. So let me just bring that one off. See, that's quite cool. That's you can see that, and you can actually now see that the image of my projector. So if I connect it up and you can see actually it looks like I'm in a river or something, or or underwater. I can change the colour, I can change the intensity, I can slow it down, I can move it around a bit. So you can slow it down a bit there, or bring it up a bit, or take it down to another colour. Very, very clever stuff, actually, very clever. I can also put the lasers back on, so basically now you can see some laser lights just coming through around me. But when we go to the other camera, as I say, because it's had to be enhanced a bit, it's a little bit on the grainy side. So what I will do is I will actually put the light on a little bit, give that warmer, smoother, warmer set picture again. We might just put it on the intense blue, I don't know. Intense blue? Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? So you can actually see me playing there. Okay, so yes, we've got all the effects here and all. If I play the effects, so if I press that there, that'll do that. Do this one here. Hold that one down, that does something else. 1, 2, 1, 2. Another one there. The one that everyone loves.
This is the, name myself back. This is the different effect one. And if I press that one, that goes a little bit different.
And if I press that one.
Oops, I press that one.
Shift to C major.
but then you got to get it
Back to again. 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
You can hear it a lot better on the speakers.
Let's
see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's better. That's a nice clear sound. Let me just adjust my head. Phone or headset. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we are recording, so I can take the recording system off, because I know we're doing live streaming now, so that's good news. If you're on there, say hello, and I'll see it on my phone here. So if I click the camera back, whoops, wrong one. If I click the camera back there, I don't even see this. This is the way I'm monitoring everything at the moment. So I can actually, I can see the actual picture of the keyboard, because there's about a 3-second delay on this phone, and it'll go back in a minute. There you go. It's gone back to that picture now, what we're looking at now. You can see that. There you go, that's me. So let's just see how she goes. Well, what we'll do then, I'll put this down here so I can actually see if anyone says anything, I can actually monitor you guys on here. And I can also do some things here and all. Let's see, put some thumbs up. So yeah, if you need to say anything that it's coming through okay, let me know, and we'll go from there. And everything's remote control. And we got the orange. Been having a word with, I actually have a talk to Elton Musk quite a lot actually, and well, I've talked to about 10 of his accounts. Some of them are fake, but I think I've got to round today to talk to the real guy. He wanted me to go onto a different site, so I thought that was a bit weird. But I said check out some of that music that I've got, my 432 relax stuff. Actually, I need to reset that because I haven't got a full screen. So what we do here is switch off, reset button, and press yes. Resets everything on the Casios. On the Yamaha, what you want to do is you press the last key, switch it off and switch it on, and that resets it. All different they are, all a bit different. I like that. Well, they must be coming through alright, because I can hear them through the speakers. If I go over here, we've got 2 more speakers here. Yeah, that's coming through alright. And that one's coming through alright. So I'm actually in the middle and the speakers are around me. Normally when I do the other stuff and Liv is at home or sleeping, she don't need any sound at all. I have to have my headphones on. So then the headphones go into the connector on there through the mixer, and I monitor what's going on there. So it's a bit strange at the moment because I haven't got the headphones gripping my ears and nipping my ears. But yeah, I was talking to Elton Musk on X, and we were on about the music that I do. He quite likes that music, that's the 432 relax stuff, and we're going to try and see if we can get that for the next launch. It'll either be on there, some music, or basically some effects or something on this next Starship launch. Or basically, if it doesn't get on there, then obviously I have not been talking to the right guy. Because there's quite a few scammers out there, the sound of Elton Musk, and I've met 4 or 5 of them, and I've also reported them. But I think I got the real guy this time. He's a nice guy actually. I mean, I did a video, I put out Chicky actually, I did a video and I actually see him talking to me, so there you go. If you're listening, Elton, hope you're well. I know you're 5 hours behind us in the UK, but hope you're enjoying this music anyway. There you go. Sounds just as good as where they got my headphones on. But I'm actually hearing it now in the studio through all 4 speakers, which is it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So let me show you the other camera. So there you go. This one, actually, let me just show you. Here we go. It's this one. And it's going through that one up there. Normally it faces these 3 here. So it's just a case of flipping it round like. And normally you see over the top of my headlight. So all it is, it's the same camera. Just give it a little more cable here, like, and flipped it over and flipped it down there. Because quite a few fans want to hear this one a bit more, but they want to see me actually working. Because as I say, I never program anything. It's all done live on the night. So, without further ado, let's flick over the camera. There you go. This is the Technics. Top of the range Technics. This is a 30-year-old keyboard. 30-year-old keyboard. I'll put, well, I'll try and put that there. Actually, I'll put it over there, then I can see people commenting and saying, hi, how you doing? And I see there's quite a few in the background now. Thank you. I'll try and do some ticks and things. You can see them things popping up. I think there's, if I do those and all, I can even get myself some love hearts. Look at that. Because I'm actually doing it through the phone. It's like I'm doing it through a different person. Pretty cool, like, you know. But then, of course, I can monitor myself. So there you go. Hey, okay, so let's just pop that down there. Now I can see if anything's coming through. Give myself a colour orange. And then we'll proceed. So, let's have a think. Different sound altogether, you see, different sound. A little bit more modern. Let me see if I just change some things around a bit. Yeah, it seems strange not having it through my headphones. I've had it quite a long time through the headphones, because normally when Liv's about, she's usually in bed, and then basically she dictates that I cannot make no noise. So I put them through my headphones. Today, it's a little bit different. It's not here. This is at the mum's. Oh, looking at all the stars on the ceiling. That's cool, that. So there's the camera. Hi, how you doing? Still the same guy. But with a different camera angle. So, there you go. Okay, you guys that want to have a listen to this. So, what I've got here is loads of a memory bank. And there's 8 memories of each different bank. So you've got 10 banks of 10 memories and 8 registration memories, if you get what I mean. So if I press number 4 down and hold it, that will go straight to a number on here. And then I can play it. And as it's a nice chilled out one tonight, I think, what shall we do? Then you actually just pick one you want. That's nice. So that a little bit louder. I've got remote controls for everything here. Okay. Here we go. There you go. A wonderful world, and also a little bit of Elvis there, actually. So you never know. We might have some of my 432 relaxed stuff on the launch. Some music in the background for Elton Musk's stuff, which would be quite cool. I did say I've got my music all licensed at PRS, so and they gave him a link over. It's actually that Goth did it. I mean, I was talking. I don't know what I was doing. I was asking a question or something. Or when's the next launch or something like that? The Starship going up, and then it said that, and it immediately. I didn't say nothing to it. This is an AI talking. Immediately it said that your music would go good as a background for the takeoff. I thought, wow, where did that come from? That's highly intelligent. I mean, this is this AI that's on X, and it can actually see what's going on. I mean, I work on an AI with me. On my music stuff and I can actually say to it, just look at the screen and tell me what it looks like and if it can be improved. And it can do that. It's like having a person next door to you that's very, very clever, very intelligent, and can explain everything for you. So basically, if I come across the problem on my website, I'll say, just have a look at this screen here and tell me if there's something wrong or we can improve on anything. And it comes back and tells me. Amazing. And this is what this Glock did. Just out of the blue. I mean, I didn't say nothing about it really, but it knew me obviously. And it said that my music, 432 relaxed stuff, this long sound stuff. It goes on long and smooth and smoothed out and all that. Would be ideal because it'll actually fit anything really. It would be good for background music for space and where you see the star at night and it'd be that sort of music like fits loads of things. And even this AI on X said to me that my music would suit a lot of the stuff that they do. I will have a word with Ilan, and I will put your information to you. Just send me a link, and I'll send it to you. So I sent a link to one of my websites from 3 albums that I've got at the moment on this one, and it's the one where it does the single and the CD, which you can actually play it anyway, like, well, I think 30 seconds of it anyway. So yeah, really impressed, and I was completely confused actually on that one. I thought I wasn't expecting that. I must admit it wasn't planned, but thank you, Goth, or whatever you call yourself on X. This is Dream. Here we go. So a nice little bit of dream, and oh, we're still here. Incidentally, if you want one of my hats, check out one of the links on the website. There's loads. There's got two merchandise websites actually, and if you go to my Facebook profile, have a look a little bit further down. You'll see loads of links to loads of different websites. And one of them has got 52 items on one website, which is basically a merchandise site. And another one's got 42 items. So you've got t-shirts, you've got, loads and loads. You just need to have a look. There's even bathing costumes and stuff like that. It's got me on, my name, my print. Check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy. And also you're supporting me. I don't make a lot out of it, but it gets the name out and it looks really cool, and make a little bit, not a lot. It's more interesting about getting the stuff out that we're not interested about the money. Isn't that good? Look at that, I've just found something. That is a solo button, and the Technics have these. We have performance pads, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is basically manual ones, but this one's the solo one, and what you can do with the solo one, just that little solo bit there, it does that a little bit, but if you hold the chord down and you do it again, it does it in that chord, and you can change that chord halfway. Just got to catch it in the middle. And you can also do a minor, so you've got a major and a minor. Loads of different effects. I mean, you'll quite like this one. We've got some nice effects on on the effects button. If I go into the effects button.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Love it. So you know that's a starting. Next one is this one. We got the big bells from Big Ben. And we also got Tweety Birds. We've got waves. And we've also got the minor and the majors again, let's see. This is the solo, minor and major. Cool, isn't it? And the major. there's some nice little effects there. And then of course you've got your normal things. So you've got, if you go on to off the effects and onto the pops, then you've got your 8-beat, your 16-beat, your EQ pop, your synth pop. And then of course you've got your majors and your minors, but in the synth. And the minor. Moving on to the swing. This is the funky. And obviously if you hit the chords here, everything comes in. But because you're now on manual, you've got control over the chords, so you can change the chords and the bass will follow. And there's a layer on top on the left hand. And we can also do the next one, which is a mood strum. The next one along is a mute strum. You can just imagine it with a beat. Wow. Then we got a folk guitar. Maybe we need to go a bit quicker. And of course you've got your mutes, you've got your solo, which is your folk guitar. So that could be a nice intro. So yeah, it's very clever stuff. Rock and roll piano, bit of Elton John there. Without the rhythm. Of course, then you've got your solos. And of course, you've got the minors. So that is the minor. Let's change the major. There is loads and loads and loads. This is the thing, if you keep your keyboards all the time, you're going to find new things. You're going to find different ways of going with things. And this is why I can't understand why people have to go for the latest, the newest, and say, oh, I got this, it really sounds great, it really sounds great. It does sound great, it really sounds great, but you're certainly going to be as good as the person that's playing it. If you're good person playing it, then yes, go for it. But if you're really struggling, you really want to be keeping hold of what the other one like and struggle with that one until you've mastered it. Once you've mastered it, you'll enjoy it a lot more. Okay, a dance loop. Bring the beat. Amazing. I mean, that's quite fast actually. And a piano, and then we got the fifth chords. That's a doo-doo. Number 4, Dreamy Ballad. And of course, as you're doing all that, you can still bring in the left hand as a sort of background, nice mode in the background. So when you press the keys down and hold them a little bit more, put a little bit more pressure on, because it's a spring bound, these keys, it will bring in that next voice in the background. Without another sound here, and also another one. Because normally on the right hand you can put two layers of sounds, or you can just have the one. Or you press them both together. You've got both of them. That's not the end of it, because then you can put a techno chord on. What that does is matches one the right hand, the two sounds on the right hand, and the left hand layer, and double them up again. So then we've got a full technical. There could be a lot more, but I'll just stop it at that now. Because you could even run in the synthesizer. This little thing here, we've got a little ball, and if I press the mode, I can change the pitch, and this is where the synthesizer comes in. And of course you've got different modes you can do on it. You can do bright filters, you can do reverb settings, you can do everything. It's never ending, this keyboard. It really is. You're finding stuff every single day. It's loads and loads of screens, big screens, all colour. All sounds are sampled. All voices are sampled. So you are actually playing that right instrument. Because then, in them days they sampled it and put it straight into the keyboard. No filters. And original 80s keyboards, 80s and 90s keyboards. So you actually get the original sounds and not actually having to download a modem that's caught it. Also, I never told you that all them beats can be changed by 4 variations. We can even go to the next one. At the right hand. of course you've got variation 4. So there's quite a lot on this keyboard that you don't really see. And that's without going through all these buttons, and all these buttons. I've done a few videos, I must admit, showing you what most of these things do. And lots and lots of people are really interested. And it's sort of the keyboard that they probably had in the past, but never really went into it, what it actually can do. And as I say, I've had 2 of these. This one is the second one. But this one basically has been in the box for 20 years. Never been out of it. Been in a shop. And I bought it. They sent it over. And it's like brand new. It's basically like brand new. This one's out of the box. So although it's 30-year-old, it's been 20 years in the box. In fact, it is brand new. It's probably been 30 years in the box then, because it's never actually been used. It's like a brand new keyboard, but it's 30-year-old, so everything works fine. And I always service these. I take them all to bits, completely to bits. Everything I have electrically, I'll take to bits completely, and I'll service it and make sure they work right. It's probably why they always last long, because I go that little extra. Okay, let's change the tunes, and then we're on bank A. I've got love songs. I've got synthesizer songs on bank B. So a nice one here that everyone likes. You call this one every week. And then of course what you can do, if you want, you can change, so we're on moving, I can change this straight on a braid, and it keeps straight on that beat, but it changes onto the other beats. And I've got here, Rendezvous Houston, so I know what this one's going to be. Start off on number 1. That's all there is to it, really. I've got to the stage now where I just sort of sit back and let my hands just carry on. But it's that many times. But I have to be very careful when I'm doing a video, because if I do it spot on, the algorithm will go, you're playing somebody else's tune. And I go, yeah, I know, but, you know, don't penalise me. If I played it shit, you'd be alright, you wouldn't bothered me. But because I play it spot on, the little bugger gets me every time. They, yeah, you can, and then you have to go through all the freaking yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes, fill in the flipping form. Okay, end of the road. This is the Travelling Wilburys. End of the road, end of the road. That's Travelling Wilburys, when they all got together like. There's all the famous guitarists as well as Jeff Lynne. And yeah, it was brilliant. I think basically there's, out of that lot, there's probably just Jeff Lynne that's still alive. Roy Orbison died, didn't he? And there was two more in there, like, I think they died, no. We're getting on, guys, we're getting on. I'm 63 myself. Everyone keeps saying 40, but I keep saying thank you very much. I've just matured like a fine wine. Okay, something a little bit different. Whiskey in the Jarro. Kilimanjaro. Haven't done that for ages, as you could probably tell. But I don't believe in sort of practicing for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I think I'll probably only get on these things now once in every 3 days now. If I'm probably another day, probably on this studio doing the other 432 stuff. I'll probably making websites for people or doing something. Yeah, I seem to be quite busy with all sorts of things. Pretty good. Okay, something a little different. Bit of rock and roll. Starting off with this one. little bit of the old rock and roll there. You can always transpose it up and get another one. I usually just pop the stuff in my head and say, all right, I'm going to do four songs, and I'll just transpose it up one when I do one. So. Oh dear, the things you learn every day. Number 4, fun, fun, fun. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It is just letting the hands do the job now. Like I've been it so many times. It's just. And there's always new stuff you can play, and it's just amazing, really. I mean, the keyboard's got loads and loads of different effects, loads and loads of different beats, styles. You know, it's you can even find your styles by custom. So basically, you do the same as what I do with the guitarist downstairs. Or you could do it by style. You can press into styles here, and you can find them by categories, by eras, 20s, 30s, 40s, like. Alphabetical order, if you know what song it could be, or custom style. So There is so many things on this keyboard. It's just you know, I think this is why a lot of people got lost on it, and they sort of sell it on night, really, you know. But it's such a fantastic keyboard. There's so many things on there you can go through. What are we on now? Alphabetical list. So metal lead we've got there. I mean, that could be anything. Doesn't actually say what the song is, but it just gives you an idea what that style is that you can use. And of course, once you press the one touch button and hold it down for a few seconds, it automatically will put that onto that sound. So let's have a look. Now, if you basically do an intro, because every time it puts it on an intro, it will bring an intro in automatically. So basically, if we just go to here and we press the one touch button, that's nice, isn't it? I've got no idea what we can put on this one. I'm trying to remember what it is now. Let's try variation 2 on that, so that'll give me something different. So it always gives you 4 variations of that same beat. That's a nice one there. That's a little bit of the old Rod Stewart. Mellow Glamour. That's apparently what that one is. And obviously that would be about right because that was in the 70s or 80s, I think it was. Yeah, 80s, 70s, somewhere around there. And it was the glamour one in the glamour rock. So yeah, that hit pretty well, that one did. But yeah, there's so many in here. It's just unbelievable. I'd have to print it all out like I did the other one, really. But there's so many different things. I mean, new barbershop. What the heck's that could be? You know, let's just do one touch cut. Get it right. One touch button. We'll do it on the variation of 1. Got a what whip? And that's apparently what a barbershop is. I love it. Absolutely love it. Let's go around again. Let's see what else we've got on here. There's so many different things. Ocean vibes. Ocean vibes. My God, what's that going to be like? Hit the one touch button. Let's see what the intro's going to be. That's what I like about it. Oh, right. Ocean vibes. So what we can do here is, yeah, well, if I go into the banks on this one, and I change this to bank 1, okay, so we bring this one right down to bank 1, and it thinks it needs to be on page 1, into effects, onto the waves, which is number 4. So the longer you have a keyboard, then the longer all the tricks are. And then you can do this nice one here from the Hawaiian Winds. So you can do all these amazing effects once you learned to master the keyboard. It doesn't matter if you are a novice or a professional or anything. The keyboard has always got these magical sounds in there, and it's just a case of finding them. So if you get a keyboard that's only going to have it for about, 6 months and then get rid of it, you've lost that chance of finding all them sounds. Because they're all in there, and they're never in the manual. You've got to find them yourself. Party atmosphere. Wow, that could be cool. cool? Yep, I think I can do this one. you like the camera angle. It's pretty cool. I'll probably keep it like this for 3 weeks. Sounds a little bit loud on there. I might bring that sound down a bit. I'm not monitoring through earphones, so we'll only be able to tell once we get back on the computer. Anyway, I hope you had a good time and you like this new angle. I have got another camera working or coming. Hopefully it should be at the back of me somewhere there so you can see a little bit more. And then we can put this camera back and on top of the 3 keyboards again. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so just slow it down a bit. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. Check out all my links, they go everywhere. And I think you'll enjoy it. This is what I was finish off with. Wow. on every single beat I always try it. Every single soundy rhythm. It's always a nice challenge to actually fit it to all sorts. And playing by ear, you can do that. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Just going to go around this one here and put the other camera on. Where is it? There you go. So, yeah, there you go. I like that effect there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's that camera up there that we usually use that shows down on here. But all it did was flip it round, so it shows the other side. So anyway, let's switch these off. There you go. Switch this one off and all. Got 3 lights and 1 here, so just there you go, that's it. And then we switch these lights off here. I've got like a little control box here. That's that one, that's that one, that's them. And that leaves that. And if I take that one off there. You can see now display of the nebula, as they call it. And we can change different colours on the nebula and stop it and start it. Make it more redder or more greener. Quite cool. So, there you go. Put right back on. So thanks a lot for joining us. This video will be on YouTube later on. And join me for the Sunday chill. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, we'll get this one on YouTube tomorrow. So, thanks for joining us. See you soon.